All right, about every foot, I'm a little bit longer and stuff, I'm putting a screw in to the bottom, through the bottom. And I'm going right into the big fake rocks to secure an anchor to. Get in there. Just like so. Then I'm going to also take these here, and you got a little overlap. I'm going to run it through here to hold these together. I'll probably put 3 in here. Okay. And again, like I said, every 12 inches or so, I'm going to screw one into the bottom here to hold these in place. There we go. Okay. Now the next thing I wanted to show you here is how to put the outer cover on. Things are kind of folded up, if you see. So it makes it kind of hard. I'm trying to work it a little bit. If you see, look right up underneath here. There's little grooves in here between this first one. You see those little grooves? You got to get this in there and lock it in. So right there, there. Whew, that's coming along. And do that all the way down the line. You heard that lock in? Let's take a look at that real quickly. Get this out of the way. I'm trying to put up my stuff here. Okay. How's that looking, you guys? That's probably as far as I'm getting tonight. But it's been a learning process as I go. And it's coming along. Now, with the way this is shaped and everything, and with the gaps and everything, I'm having trouble with this one sitting in. So I've actually taken some shoe goo. If you've ever used it, you'll know how wonderful it is. It's more than just for shoes. It's watertight. It's real adhesive. It sticks together. It's flexible. And it really works good. So I'm going along the outsides here on top of this stone where it's going to touch the vent. And then I will seal it to that. And then after it dries and secures, I will caulk the insides where the gaps are at. Okay, I'm getting ready to start my first corner here, and 28 inches from the end here, on the end of this, to my mark, 28 inches right there. So that's the middle of the bend, or the corner. And another thing about my corner and my thing is lower one end and deeper than the other. So I got 35.5 inches here, 37 inches here, and my end down here is 38 inches. I took my saw blade, and after I made my marks, 28 inches in the center, and then my 1 inch on each side, I went and lined it and I shortened my blade so it wouldn't cut into the plastic on my skill saw, and I cut that insulation out, scraped it out, and got it ready. Now, this bend's pretty good for most of the part. I don't have a hair dryer on the homestead, so I have to improvise. And that the only problem I'm having when I fold and bend would be right here where this solid piece is at and stuff, of because it wants to bend over here. So I took and I made a slice right there through the top to guide it to where I want it to bend. And when I put the corner bracket on and everything, that'll all be hidden and you won't see any of that, and that'll help the bend. That is in theory. We're going to find out right now how this works. Got my second vent installed into here, and I actually went around the corner and made the corner, added the coupler corner. That's a pain, and that because it goes on the outside behind the back strip down, and then lips right here under this one to lock, and same thing on this side. So when I anchored these all the way to the end, I made it kind of complicated and stuff with the back top trim, but look at that corner, it looks pretty nice. And the rest of my corner, and I've gotten this much towards the back. Okay, now the instructions aren't very clear on this and stuff, but this is an 11-inch corner coupler and you're supposed to cut it down. What I could figure out in the instructions I did, so let me show you. I went right in the middle, made a mark in the middle, and then from there I went 2 1/4 inches to the left here, 2 1/4 inches to the right here from the mark, and then I cut straight down here, and then at an angle there and there. And with this angle, and I also made a little corner notch right here, so I can actually do this here. Get my corner cut like so. As you can see, it'll look square, but let's go ahead and see if I can figure out how to install this sucker. Just in case I haven't shown you how I do my corners, I make my 1-inch mark, then I go 1 inch over and 1 inch over. I took my skill saw just above the, as you can see, I'm just above the top, and I'm just taking this thing right here and tearing it so it looks like this here. Voila. Depending on the temperature, this could be ready to bend, or they recommend that you heat it with a heating gun in between the center and that, but on the other side, so I guess you don't melt this foam and stuff. Alright, it's 9:30 at night, and I've finished up the first coat for the inside of the door, and the door is going to actually be smaller than this green spot I went over a little bit. It's going to get cut and shortened. Alright, I just got done mounting this up in its position. It is awesome, perfect, it does amazing. It's solid, it's connected, it's not going nowhere. And then I've also put my panel screws through here and have these all snug and secure, so this panel's not going nowhere. It's all anchored together, and it is one. Just look how flush that is to the panel and the insulation. Okay, now on my skirting project here, the first one, when I did the corners, I followed the instructions on the one page that I had, or the paragraph that I had, and as you can see, it looks good. It looks alright and stuff. I'm just not really that impressed with it because the way it looks like in the corners down on the bottom, and then this right here is kind of sunk in instead of popped out and stuff, but otherwise it looks really good and stuff. It's a nice good corner and that, and on a scale of 1 to 10 I give myself an 8 like for that as far as doing it by the instructions. And over here with my solid piece, it just looks so much nicer. And my other panel I'll be able to put right up here and just screw right in here and that, and just run the next one, and it's all secured to a nice secure post. So I am thinking I'll probably do that the rest of with the other 2 corners too and stuff left, and just leave that one like it is, because I think this is better. It's more durable and it looks good. It blends with everything else. That's just my call on this. Alright, you guys, I'm here in the shop, and before I go on, I'd like to show to you and explain to you why I went to the other corner solid wood piece here. And in my shop here, this was the panel I had cut out. I'd taken a 2-inch and stuff and did my 2-inch cut right in the center, about 6 inches in for my bend. But when I tried to fold it, and that everything just ripped and fell and disintegrated. That was with the heat gun and everything. But the bottom line is, when it comes to bending, this is designed to bend more towards the middle and not towards the end, if you ask me. And it makes it really tough and difficult. I fought and struggled the whole time, and then I finally said the heck with it, and that's when I rethought things, and now I'm going to have that board. So let me go put it up and show you what this looks like. The best way is the silicone. This is actually 2 coats of silicone. First one was lightly to get a base because of the cracks in that, and as you can see, this covered it up really nicely. And this is my 3rd vent that I've done, and it's the best one that I've done so far. As you can see, it looks pretty clean. There's just a little bit of gappy light right there, but that's the only place you'll find some gappy light. And the rest is just... So this one came out the best for the install. And I also shoe glued underneath here just to touch it and to hold it in, tack it in place. And then if you've never used shoe glue, it's in the shoe department of Walmart where the shoestrings are. It's amazing. It's flexible. It's super strong adhesive, and it works really well for a lot of things. And I use it for more than shoes. But it's called shoe glue, and it's clear, and I just tacked it in certain areas and held that in there, and then I siliconed, and now the silicone holds it in place. Okay, I'm getting ready to set my last track for this side here, and it's a slope. As you can see, it goes up pretty steep real fast. I got multiple boards down here, and that just because I have this anchor that is in the way. So we got to be creative about working on this anchor here and getting things to keep looking good. So you see here. This here and here is to represent in between these 2, and that one there is for the nut bolt. So we're going to try and make a cut using some vinyl scissors, and see how this comes out. Alright, what do you think of that cut? It looks like it fits in there pretty nicely. And that the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put some anchor screws along that track so I can drill out those stake holes and stake it in. Okay, as you can see, I got these kind of pre-anchored down in there, screwed in. And right here I had to come out a little bit just so I know that the panel will be in front of that anchor and run along, and then get the track back in plumb. So here's a little out and sharp back in. Okay, I had to make special cuts just so that will fit in there. But look how well it fits in there. And my wife is here gazing at my work and feeling pleased. Alright, as I get ready to put the front skirting on and the track and everything, I had to actually dig out down in there, and as you can see, there's still moisture down there, so I need to put a barrier wall up to keep that moisture from going up under the cabin. Got this 10 by 2, and I got it the exact length I need it already cut down. Sorry I didn't share it with you and stuff. I've got it secured together. I got one end down there where I can secure it onto these little anchor blocks right here that you see, and then this one right here. So with the help of my lovely wife here and stuff, we're going to go ahead and slip this right on into its spot, and I'm going to anchor it down so I can get ready to put the final track boards down and final track and get ready to secure this. Okay, as you can see, I got that anchored in right there, and same thing at the other end, but this board is in. Okay, with the tractor, I went and got some nice gravel there, as you can see, real pretty fine and stuff. I took out all the big stuff and put it off to the side. So now I'm ready to put my 2x4s down, and that should compact real nice. Alright, I just got done pre-drilling the wood where the stakes are supposed to go in the vinyl, and hammered them all in. Let me show you. There's a lot that go in here. That is all anchored in there. Ready to move on to the next phase. Tomorrow I'll skirt it, and for the most part this will be done except for minor touch-up things in certain areas. That corner you see the flap, that's for decoration for the 90. This recycled piece I used from leftover. I used from in the middle because the grade for the corner is so steep and it has to come from the bottom. And I had to try and make the top as straight as I possibly could to the height I needed it to be. And then from there I made my adjusted cuts to go with the slope. So hopefully this will look good. I still need to figure out where the corner's going to be at in there and do my little work on that, and hopefully real soon, next thing you'll see is it in. I made my measurements and got my cut for my bend. This is where the bend's going to be, in the middle, and I actually used this handsaw to cut through this foam, and it was no problem at all. And so now I'm going to pop it out and start working a bend. Talk about a point with the least resistance and stuff. I just popped it out with that little piece, and that's my bending part. So this bend should go real smooth and easy. Alright, These caps here, they made me nervous in the beginning and that because I had a hard time getting under here, but with the screwdriver I've been able to manage to make it work. Get them in there, and then I'll take and bend this one out, get it lined up in there, and it slips right on in place. Same thing with the next one. I'll pull them out and spread them out and bend that up and get it right into the lip here on the bottom where the track, and set it in there. And all right, see how this one looks right here by the gas line. We'll just take this up and go like so I can get it back into there, and the same thing on the other side, and snug it in there. I gotta use both hands, so okay, you see how I worked it in there between the cracks? I still need my hands and that, and then I'll go and pull these things out like so and loop them in through there like so. But you gotta stretch it out and bend them, flex them, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Sometimes there's a little backing nail. You see that backing nail behind there? That's in the way, so I gotta go around that. So what you'll do is you'll take your thing, and right where the nail's at, you just cut a little groove through, so this will slide right on over. Easy that fit in there. And then the rest of this is, you'll just take this and pull this back. I don't know if I can do it with one hand. You kind of work these in the vinyl, and they work right in there. You slide those grooves in, and they close it right up. But I need both hands. And there's your end result right there. All nice and pretty. Pull the other screwdriver out, tuck that back up in there. Alright, I like to take a moment and just walk around each side that it's finished. And that. Just got done putting the cap covers on where they separate from. The cap cover there. Here's the one with my end cover. They're pretty wide spaces and stuff, and that looks pretty good. That goes all the way down to there. And here's my back. I was going to put a door in here, but I've changed my mind, and I just put a access hatch here and stuff, so I can just undo 4 screws if I need to get in there. I also, because I have ventilation and stuff, I have a little space gap right there that I'll foam, well not foam, but put those insulate during the summer, winter time. This way I'll get breezes. I got this right here still. I have an idea for it. I'll probably trim this down here to about right here, and that, because it doesn't need to be so high, so when I put my corner piece up there, it'll work well. And get it right here. Another ways. This is the back. You can see the cover. There's another one down there. You can hardly tell. That looks good. And there's this side here. That's all finished now. Covered. My gas lines. I have the cover. You saw the short on that. More vent. And here, this is the only thing I can't cover is because of the change in elevation and that, but here. I'm not worried about that metal plate because I believe most of this is going to be under dirt and stuff, and you won't see it anyways. That's why I have 2x10 in the back, behind there. There's that wall right there. And here's my front. And it's all set to go too. So I have in my third corner. On this one here, you see how I left the board lower for my corner piece. It'll still cover that, and it'll still look good, and it'll fit a lot nicer. All right, I finished the entryway.